समझ नहीं आ रहा अपने सैलरी इंक्रीमेंट का क्या करूं।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है, अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स के एसआईपी का टॉप अप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
क्या समझ में नहीं आया।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है, अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स का एसआईपी टॉप अप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
आप समझा।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
The details coming out of Iran are simply horrific. America's CBS News is reporting that 12,000 people may have been killed, and that number could be even higher. Donald Trump is warning the Iran regime to behave and warning of consequences if they unleash further violence on protesters. But the executions of those who are protesting, including a 26-year-old man, have been scheduled for today, even as we speak. Will Donald Trump militarily intervene in Iran? Remember, this is a country where women have been at the front line of protests, as morgues now show the horrific images that you see on your screen, just stacks and stacks of bodies and desperate relatives wading through morgues, wading through mountains of body bags to try and identify their loved ones. In a moment from now, we'll be crossing over to America, where we'll be talking to one of the world's foremost Iranian American activists, Masih Alinejad. But before I bring her up, it is, as I said, important to look at these images. Women have been literally leading the revolution. And this viral image of women lighting a cigarette to portraits of Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran, are now a global trend. Women before this have been at the forefront of defying the Islamic regime by taking off their hijab, by taking to the streets, singing and dancing in defiance of the moral police. Earlier, we also saw them cutting their hair to make a similar point. But these are the images that the world must focus on. Morgues filled with body bag after body bag. I want to welcome to the program at this grim moment our newsmaker today, Masih Alinejad, a dear friend of mine, one of the world's most important voices on the Iran situation, is with us. Thank you for your time. I know how much trauma, personal trauma, you must be going through right now. Let me start by asking you, what is the news you have from Iran? When the American president was asked about the death toll, he said he did not have a specific figure. The numbers have varied from CBS reporting 12,000, CNN reporting 2,400, the BBC reporting 2,000. What is your information, Masih?
Iranians are in the streets right now, but at the same time, my source telling me that hour by hour, the number of mass killings increased, hour by hour. Yes, some reports say that more than 12,000 people have been killed by security forces. But my people inside Iran who have access to Starlink telling me that this is just in Tehran. In other city like Abdanan, like Kermanshah, other city in north of Iran, south of Iran, the numbers is unverified because they don't have access to Starlink. So the mountain of body bags that you've seen now, you've shown it to your audience, it's the image and picture that every Iranian in exile received. And believe me, the same way that I treat these photos, every single Iranian do. Because of total communications blackout, no landline, no cell phone, no internet. A lot of us Iranians, we zoom in when we receive these body bags. We zoom in to make sure whether our family members, my brother is there or not, my cousins, my nephews, my nieces. This is the reality. Iranians are being tortured. Iranians are facing massacre. The level of massacre is shocking. It's shocking. It is shocking. And people are telling me that how the regime in Iran using military weapons military weapons against unarmed people. My sister, some people inside Iran saying that they have seen AK-47. When we say that, people in the West maybe do not believe it. It's unimaginable for people in India, for people in Australia, for people in Europe, for people in America, that the regime in Iran using AK-47 to kill innocent protesters who demand freedom. Yes, but I have seen it with my eyes in America. When Russian mobster was hired by Iranian regime to kill me, I've seen the killer in front of my garden in Brooklyn, in New York. So if it was not American government, American law enforcement, the guy could have killed me. But now the killer is in prison in America. So the same people now hired AK-47 being used to kill Iranians. That's why millions of Iranians are asking President Trump to intervene. Otherwise, more people will be slaughtered.
I want to ask you about this notion that you have said that this is Iran's Berlin Wall moment. What do you mean by that metaphor?
The reason that I said this is the Berlin Wall moment of Iranians, it's because Ali Khamenei is scared of the term of Berlin Wall. First, when I compared compulsory hijab, compulsory veiling to the Berlin Wall, I invited Iranian women to join my campaign and remove their hijab. That was Ali Khamenei who made a video, who said that himself to the Revolutionary Guards member, that if you heard of that American agent comparing compulsory hijab to the Berlin Wall, you have to take a stance. So he ordered my killing just because of comparing compulsory hijab to the Berlin Wall. Now, I see that it's beyond compulsory hijab. Iranian women, shoulder to shoulder, standing with men, bringing the wall of dictatorship down. I now see that how Iranian women in front line, lighting a cigarette with the portrait of Ali Khamenei. This is the way that Iranian women humiliating Ali Khamenei, saying that we burn down your dictatorship. We bring down the wall of Ali Khamenei, the wall of tyranny, the wall of execution, the wall of oppressions. This is the true image of my women and men inside Iran. So, but outside Iran, I see the Western people keep quiet. I see the feminist, global feminist movement. I see the left and liberal. They are hesitating to join Iranian women. That is why I say that loud. This is the Berlin Wall moment. And the Europe should be brave because you know what happened to East Germany. Now, the number of killings, it's not even comparable to what happened to East Germany. It's more than 12,000. So what happened? America once led when President Reagan said, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down the wall, the Berlin Wall. Now, I don't want to compare President Trump to President Reagan, but he knows the language of the dictators in my country is not appeasement, is not negotiations. It is the language of pressure. So that's why some people in the West turn the hate towards Iranians, the hate of Trump, they hate the Israeli government. They turn this hate toward Iranians. And they say that this is a foreign plot of regime change led by the West, led by the Israeli government. They are actually signing the death sentence of every single unarmed women and men in Iran by accusing them that this is an external regime change. Iranians, for years and years, they have shown it with their lives. They have proven, they have chanted that they want regime change. In 2009, when they took to the street, the regime killed more than 100 people. 6 major uprisings took place in Iran. In 2019, the Iranian regime shut down the internet. In bloody November, they killed 1,500 innocent people. In 2022, when Mahsa Amini got killed in the hand of morality police, simply because of showing a bit of her hair, immediately that sparked a revolution. Men and women got together in the streets chanting against the entire regime. They made it clear that they don't want these backward mullahs. They made it clear that they don't want this Shia militia in Iran. They don't want the barbaric ISIS to be in power in Iran. The regime change is the demands of millions of Iranians. And that's why I compare compulsory hijab and the Islamic Republic to the Berlin Wall, to name and shame all those European leaders, all the global feminist movement, all those G7 leaders who keep quiet because they hate Trump. I believe this is the time, and everyone should get united to help Iranian to bring the wall of dictatorship down.
I want you to talk a little bit about this comment you've made. People are turning their hatred of Trump and their hatred of Israel against the people of Iran. They want to deny what's happening in Iran because they hate Trump or they hate Israel. You've also called out the hypocrisy of Western feminists, of Hollywood liberals, many of whom have spoken against Israel on what's happening in Palestine, but are silent on Iran. Can you expand on this idea of what you call the hypocrisy of the left and the liberals on Iran?
My sister, when it comes to chant Free Palestine, people are everywhere. University campus, college campuses, everywhere. In the streets, flood of people across Europe, across the world, everywhere in America. Celebrities, from Greta Thunberg to Angelina Jolie to every single celebrities. Where are they? Why don't they chant Free Iran? Why? I'm telling you, because they sympathize with the Islamist terrorists. Unfortunately, when it comes to Hamas, bunch of Islamic terrorists being supported and sponsored by the Islamic Republic, some in the West call them a group of resistance. Like they call this resistance when Hamas fighting against Israeli government. When we were fighting against compulsory hijab, you remember all the feminists were calling hijab sign of resistance. Many leaders, female politicians, they wore hijab. They bowed to the Islamic Republic in the name of culture, cultural relativism, in the name of not causing Islamophobia. So now, when they see that the same Islamists butchering people, slaughtering people, if they talk about this, they will expose their lies. That's why they try to keep quiet, or they try to accuse the Iranians being led by Israeli government and Trump administration. That is a dangerous accusation for Iranian people. This is the narrative of the Islamic Republic, who is willing to turn the mass arrest to mass executions, to mass public executions. So I strongly believe that the West and some of the Western people, the left and liberals, they literally lost the clue and logic. And instead of supporting the brave women of Iran, they absolutely silent or playing the game of the Islamic Republic. It's not late. Join us, because the history is watching, and the history will definitely judge them. We are dealing with ISIS. What is the difference between ISIS and Islamic Republic? ISIS behead people. The Islamic Republic hang people. You see the mountain of the body bags of lifeless people. ISIS hang people. ISIS rape women. So this is the same. That's why I am calling on all Western women, take to the streets, have women's march, support Iranian women. We believe that an Iran without the Islamic Republic will benefit you as well, because they want to expand their ideology everywhere, everywhere.
Can you speak to why the image of Iranian women removing their hijab in defiance of the Islamic regime is such an important sub-language of this revolt, this revolution that is taking place? Can you explain that?
You know, when women were free in the Middle East from ISIS, do you remember what was the main image of women? Burning their burqa, burning their hijab. This is what Iranian women have done in 2020. They started to burn their hijab. And suddenly, the Western feminists get panicked. Right now that Iranians are burning mosques. And in the West, people say, wow, this is against Islam. This is Islamophobia. You don't understand that this is the reason of 47 of Islamist oppression. This is the 47 years of rage, because we keep hearing from mosques these days in the streets that the security forces go inside the mosque and shoot innocent women and men. They use the mosque to warn children, to warn family, telling them, go back home. Otherwise, we target your chest and your heart. This is the Islamists' brutality that my people are facing inside Iran. That's why they're burning mosques. That's why they're burning hijab. And that's why I say to the Western feminists, to the Western left and liberal, and bunch of right wings playing the same game with the Islamic Republic, bunch of far right people saying the American government, stay away from Iran. This is internal matter. This is the problem of Iranians. It is not. The Islamic Republic is targeting US citizens on US soil. I myself, I have survived 3 assassination plots. The Iranian regime targeted President Trump on US soil. The Iranian regime targeting journalists and dissidents and activists in Canada, in the UK, in Netherlands, in Belgium, everywhere. Because killing, assassinating, hanging, torturing, raping is in the DNA of the Islamic Republic. In 2000, think about it. If me walking in the street before September 11, asking Americans to help me to end Al-Qaeda, to end Osama bin Laden, what would have been the reaction of Americans in the streets? Why should we care? This is your problem. It was not our problem. Osama bin Laden killed more than 2,000 innocent Americans on September 11. Guess what? Now the numbers of people being killed in my country, it's more than September 11. It's more than the war that Putin, Russia, waged on Ukraine. It is more than this. Where is the outrage? Why
You know,
people?
You know, a lot
My
of
heart
people.
is broken. My heart is broken. I know that I have to be calm. I know that I have to put my emotion aside. I know that very well, but it is impossible. This is about humanity. This is not about left and right. This is not about Democrats and Republicans. It is about humanity. It is about children. It is about teenagers. Where is Greta Thunberg? People are now in my country, people are blocking the roads with their lifeless bodies, with no choice. They are there, lying down, waiting to be buried. Who knows? Who knows how many people will get killed because of the silence of the West? We don't have internet. Where is Barack Obama? Where is Michelle Obama? Where is Hillary Clinton? Why they don't use their own social media platform and speak up? Because they know that they have betrayed Iranians. When my people were in the street chanting, Obama, Obama, you either with us or with them. Obama, choose them. Obama was sending secret letter to the regime in Iran to get a nuclear deal while my people being killed in Iran in 2009. Where is President Biden now? In 2022, women life freedom. President Biden was handing out money to Iranian regime while people were being slaughtered. This is the moment. Now, show your solidarity. And if you don't show your solidarity, keep quiet and let President Trump to intervene. Let the Europe, the G7, to shut down the embassies of Iranian regime. Let at least President Trump target Ali Khamenei and his gang of killers. Believe me, when President Obama killed Osama bin Laden, the American people were celebrating in the street. Nobody said, oh, this is like violence. Because that was a sign of justice for the victims of September 11.
Are you saying you hope, you expect Trump to take out Khamenei in the way that the Americans took out Osama bin Laden?
Yes, that's the dream of millions of people. Ali Khamenei ordered my killing. Ali Khamenei ordered the killing of my sisters, my brothers inside Iran. Ali Khamenei is now ordering massacre. More than 12,000, more than the number 12,000 dead is just in Tehran. Across Iran, it could be more than 20,000 people. It could be even more. because we don't have internet. So of course, I want President Trump to kill the killer of Iranian unarmed people, because removing Ali Khamenei, removing IRGC, removing terrorists in my country is not a tragedy. It is a sign of justice.
And you are saying that the Ayatollah, who is called Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, personally ordered your assassination because you spoke out for human rights, for equality, and you spoke out against compulsory hijab.
You have to see the video of Ali Khamenei, which was shown here at the United States of America's courthouse. The US law enforcement showed Ali Khamenei's video while he was ordering my killing to the Revolutionary Guards member. He said that on a video, that American agent who compared compulsory hijab to the Berlin Wall, we should take a stance against her. It means kill her. And they did. They hired killers 3 times to get rid of me on US soil. If it was not the US, I would have been dead. That's why I feel the responsibility on my shoulder to call again to President of the United States of America that protect my unarmed people. They're like me. They just talk like with empty hand. They just talk my language. They talk the language of Americans. They talk the language of you, my sister. They want freedom. Yes, Iran is now looking at freedom, dignity, democracy, having a normal life. So this is Ali Khamenei now ordering massacre inside Iran. And people in the West take to the street, people everywhere, take to the street. Where are the women's march outrage? Where are the Free Palestine outrage? If you really, really want a free Palestine, the time has come to free Palestine from the great sponsor of terrorism, the Islamic Republic, because the Islamic Republic is like a cancer. If we don't remove it, they will bring chaos, war, mayhem, not only in the Middle East, but also across the globe. Let's remove Ali Khamenei and his gang of killers, then the world is going to be a much safer place for all of us. We Iranians, we don't hate America. We don't hate Israel. We don't hate Europe. We don't hate the West. We don't hate the rest of the world. We want to have an Iran without Islamic Republic, then women and men can be free. We can fair and free election. Women are not going to get killed for walking unveiled. Women are not going to chant death to America. Men are not going to chant death to Israel. We are all for life, for freedom, for dignity. I want to go back to my country. That's the dream of millions of Iranians now living in exile.
I so feel your pain and anger. I want to ask you in the end, Masih, what is your hope specifically that Trump will do now? He has made a statement saying help is on its way, but he hasn't elaborated on it. He has also given a warning to the Iran Islamic regime, behave or else. What are you hoping? I know you've said you think he needs to take out Ali Khamenei the way the Americans took out Osama bin Laden from Pakistan. In the next few days, what is your hope will happen from the American side?
In next few days, the hope and the demands of millions of Iranians is very clear. Remove Ali Khamenei. He is a terrorist, and removing a terrorist is not a tragedy. It's a sign of justice for millions of his victims. Second, we strongly believe that the US president should call its allies, the leaders of G7, have an emergency meeting and make concrete decision to isolate Islamic Republic from everywhere. The Europe should kick out the Islamic Republic officials from European soil. The Europe must shut down the embassies. Now, I strongly believe that President Trump can ask its allies to be brave enough to help Iranian people to get rid of the Islamic Republic. These are the demands, simple demands. An immediate demand is help Iranian to have access to their landlines, to their cell phone, to their internet.
Yeah, it's been 130 hours since internet has been snapped. in Iran. What do you say to those on the left, sometimes on the right, who say that America economically choked Iran, and therefore America has created these conditions for a regime change? You must have heard a number of leftist Americans make this argument. They also, as you said, connected to Israel. What do you say to them?
When the regime in my country were actually saying the same narrative that we are suffering economically because of the sanction, guess what? They were sponsoring Hamas. They were sponsoring Hezbollah. And the budget of the regime went directly to 51 religious institutions, including the institution of the son of Ali Khamenei, the son of Khomeini, the dead leader of the Islamic Republic. Go and check where they buried Khomeini. My God, it's a big mosque in Iran that they spend billions of dollars. So the budget goes to the Revolutionary Guards. The budget goes to morality police. The budget goes to Shia militia in my country. You really think that the blame should go to sanction? Then why? Why people in Iran are not chanting a single slogan against America right now? Why there is no single slogan against sanction in America? Where is the outrage of Iranians against American government? Why they're all angry against the Islamic Republic? This is fake news, misinformation, and the narrative of the Islamic Republic. And unfortunately, some right-wing and some left-wing, they are helping the Islamic Republic to use the same narrative and kill innocent people.
I want to end by asking you to talk about the role of women. Women have been so central to this revolution. You yourself have braved 3 assassination attempts. You've been forced to live in exile because you raised your voice against the morality police, against the mandatory hijab, even having an opinion on the length of women's hair. Women not being allowed to sing, and women are doing all of that. Women are singing songs today, they're cutting their hair, they're throwing their hijabs off, they're lighting their cigarettes to Khamenei's posters. And you have been such a critical voice in that movement. Talk about what the women have gone through under the Islamic regime and why they are the real soldiers of this revolution.
Women are the first group that they understand right now they have nothing to lose. You know why? Because for 47 years, the Iranian regime and all their laws were against us. From the age of 7, if you don't cover your hair, you won't be able to get an education. You won't be able to go to school. You won't be able to get a job. You won't exist if you say that you don't believe in Sharia laws. So that is why women are always in front line. But women are now saying that we don't want to change the laws. We had enough. We want to change the entire regime. We want to get rid of political Islam. We want to have a secular democracy where women can have dignity. So I myself am warning the global feminist movement again and again. If you don't join the women of Iran to end this Islamic regime, this barbaric regime, believe me, they will end your equality. They will end your life and your dignity everywhere. Because Islamic terrorist regime is not gonna stay there in the Middle East. They will infect the rest of the world and they will come after you. Iranian women are brave. They are my heroes. They actually go to social media and they say, we have nothing to lose. They say goodbye to their family members because they know that freedom is not free. Now we are facing millions of Rosa Parks in Iran. We are facing millions of women of suffragists in Iran, shoulder to shoulder, standing with their brothers, with their fathers, with men, saying that, come and kill us. But we are not bowing to dictators. Yes, Iranian women are wounded, but unbowed to their oppressors. But unfortunately, Western feminists, from their safety still hesitating to take to the streets and support the women of Iran to end Islamic Republic.
Masih, the women of Iran have been real lionesses. There's no other word for them. Tigresses and lionesses, taking on oppression. As you said, they have nothing to lose and they are wounded but unbowed. Before we let you go, if this moment is missed by the world, if this moment is missed, what happens?
This revolution, I don't call it protest anymore. My sister, it is not an unrest anymore. This is not a protest in Iran anymore. It has only one name. It is a revolution. This is the end of the Islamic Republic. This is the end of 47 years of tyranny, 47 years of Shia militia ruling my beautiful homeland, Iran. The world is missing this moment. Join us and be part of it. Otherwise, the history will judge you.
More power to you and to the women of Iran in particular. I hope to talk to you again in a few days, and maybe your dream of going home can come true. Really appreciate your making the time. You've been such a brave voice for the women and the men of Iran. Stay safe, stay strong, and thank you for talking to us. Thank you, Masih.
Hopefully, I'm going to invite you to my beautiful Iran very soon. Thank you so much.
I love that.
Be the
Thank you,
voice of
Masih.
my people. Be the voice of my
Thank you.
people who are being slaughtered. Thank you.
Thank you, Masih. Take care. Bye. It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.